How are you today? I want to especially welcome you to the KIS show. My name is Rikia Forbari, and Tolu, is in the studio with
Hi,
me.
Rookie.
Hi, yo, how you doing?
I'm very well. It's good to be back on set.
Exactly.
And to our esteemed viewers, thank you for joining us today again.
If they're not watching, we won't be here. So thank you so much for joining us on this ride today. So what's up at your hand, Tolu?
Okay. I was on my way to work today and I was listening to the radio. And the presenter on her was talking about the hike in food prices.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a big concern.
Like it is.
Because it's alarming. The prices of things in the market now. Hey, I don't know how average Nigerians, I don't know how, I mean, it's not like I'm not affected. We are all affected. We are all in this together. But really, it calls for some deliberations. How are people holding up? How are you coping in your own family? Because prices of things are skyrocketing every day, and we don't have commensurate increase in our salaries. Minimum wage is still what it is. But the price of semo, if you are eating semo this time at age or more, you are rich. My mom was complaining to me over the weekend that just the previous month, it had increased by over maybe 800 naira or thereabout, like the kg, depending on the kg you buy. And I'm like, everybody keeps saying this thing, but it doesn't even seem like our government are concerned. I mean, we are quick to blame the government, but really, how do we expect them to come in? Like, what can they do? I don't know. I don't just know. Seriously, I just feel like it's a big concern because if food is taken out of the problem, at least people will shall eat and sleep. But there are no jobs, there are no basic amenities, a lot of things are not just working. Then food scarcity or hiking prices of food have not really joined the equation. My dear, it's a big issue. But what I would advise is that I don't know. I don't have solution to the problems we have, but I just feel like it is reasonable if people could just cut down on things that they spend on. Like just cut down on your lifestyle. Just reduce. If you are the type that probably I don't know whatever it is you do, but just try to watch your budget and cut down. I'm sure you will go through what it is you spend your money on monthly. There will be some items that you could probably waive. Just try to cut down on whatever it is you can call them, but really it's a real struggle out there.
Yeah, I think it really is. That reminds me of a conversation I had with a friend a week ago. It's actually a guy, and funny enough, he just started going to the markets.
Okay.
I used to say that things are expensive, and he
but
would be like, he doesn't feel it because he doesn't shop.
Yeah.
So recently, he has reasons to shop, go to the markets, and all that. And he started buying things. It's like, what I bought last month is different from what I'm buying this month. You understand? And a funny story he shared with me was how he was at the market just this weekend that passed. And he saw two grown-up men came to the meeting. And they're like, bros, please help us. We just need a goosey 1 cup. That's 1 milk cup. And how much is it? Like 150 or thereabout. They had nothing. And he said, okay, you can take it. And
like he paid for
it. While they were still there, they were speaking with the saleswoman, the seller, and they were like, oh, mama, please just help us with small little oil and 2 Maggi, and we'll be good to go. All right, please give us kiniko, and that. They begged for literally everything to make a soup, including crayfish. 2 grown-up men. And it was just like, Rookie, where are we going to in this country? I was just listening over the phone, I'm like, it's only God that will help us. Seriously, I think that the insecurity in Nigeria is one major cause why there's food, there's hike in food prices, because a lot of farmers, recently I saw some farmers holding placards about how they are unable to get to their farmlands because of bandits and the rest. So if we can solve the problem of insecurity, I think it might help. And also for people staying in big cities like Lagos, the borders that are being closed does not help us. I don't know how it's helping Nigeria, but it's not helping the people. For instance, I have people in the north where who say that their borders are open and that things are cheap over there. And when people are shouting,
getting them down to the west,
it's difficult. Exactly. And they also tell me that their borders are opened over there. It's not closed like we have here. So I'm like, what is all this? If it's open in the north, why is it not open in Lagos? If it is open, I think we'll be able to bring in some of these things from some other countries. Since we are not producing these things by ourselves, our farmlands are not safe. So why don't you open the borders and people can start buying from other nations? Please, I think the federal government really needs to do something very before people start carrying gun all over the place and start.
Before people start killing themselves to feed. It's not. Hey, it's not.
We will not come to that stage in Jesus'
so.
name. So we have a very interesting conversation today, which borders on morality. Basically, I know you will enjoy today's episode. Just be rest assured. When we come back from the break, we'll delve into the conversation. We'll be right back shortly. Hello, you're welcome back from that break, and this is still Keep It Simple. The topic for today says the rationale behind fraudulent practices. So there's a lot of reasons people give for doing some bad things. They will be like, oh, this is what happened. I wanted to do this. I have a good reason. That is why I did this. They always have excuses why they did the wrong thing they did. That is what we want to discuss today. Should it really be so? Should that really be a reason? Do you really need a reason to do something bad? Or you always wanted to do it? And since you've been caught, you just have to state a reason. It was because my leg got broken, or my great-great-great-great-grandmother has been in the hospital and she needed the hospital bills. I just had to steal the money and all of that. We'll actually be basing today's conversation on a story on about a young man that has been apprehended in the United States of America. Yeah, and I think he's also serving jail term. His name is Obiwanem Okeke. He actually said something online, yeah, about why he actually went into fraudulent practices. He does wiring money illegally from people's accounts and all that, cyber crimes, what have you, stuff like that, under the guise of a very reputable company. And I think the name of his group is Invictus Group. And you know, surprisingly, it was named in Forbes. It was given a recognition in Forbes as one of the youngest people in Africa and in Nigeria.
It was listed on Forbes Africa in 2016. And I think it was also listed in 2017 by Young Business Leader of the Year. Like, that's also another award. It was named a finalist for Young Business Leader of the Year, West Africa. That was in 2017. And 2 years after, I mean, news broke out that this guy had only been indulging in fraudulent transactions and practices, and he actually did not even deserve, you know, any of this recognition. And I can't imagine, you know, the
feelings, right?
Oh my.
All right, so I think we should go down to some of the things he said. He has reasons here. That's the main thing why we're discussing today. Yeah. He had reasons why he did what he did. So let's hear the reasons from Tolu.
Okay. When he was being questioned, he said that he told Price that he committed the crime he was convicted of. So he admitted to committing the crime. But he said that unlike Hush Puppy Abbas, another popularly Nigerian fraudster in American custody, he did good things with the money he stole. Okeke insisted that he has made a much more positive contribution to the society. Referring to Hush Puppy, he said Hush Puppy cannot run a business, and so they are not similar in any way, because unlike him, Hush Puppy cannot run, you know, a successful business. But with the money he had looted, he had been able to run successful businesses, and he had even created more job opportunities for people. So they are not at par at all. So it can't be compared with Hush Puppy in any way. So he said he was out to basically change life, create jobs, and conquer the business world. I have done so much for my community back home with my charity foundation, which lives has he helped nobody, you know, in reference to Hush Puppy.
All right, so that is the statement from Obi-Wan Okeke, where he spoke about all the good things that he did with the money that he stole from people. So now, is that really a rationale? Should there be a good reason? Should there be an excuse for someone that has stolen, for someone that has done something, or that is doing something wrong, just because they have the opportunity to do it? And at the end, should we give them the excuse that, oh, this is why this person did this, so we should not really castigate the person, or we should not really punish the person? The question is that, is there really a time where bad thing can be good in a way? Are there times like that?
Ruki, if you ask me, actually, I would not wave aside the harsh reality of our times. I mean, we're just really talking about, you know, the hike in food prices and all. And if you will be true to yourself, you know that life is not easy out there, especially in the climate where we are. I don't know about developed countries. Maybe they have things much better over there, but specifically in Nigeria, like, living conditions are really harsh, and it just keep pushing the people to the wall. Like, things are not things are not fine. So people have had it to, you know, the point where they can't just really take things anymore, and they would now want to consider trading their morality just so they can survive. So that is there. We know we can't push that aside. But then, if we were to consider, you know, this issue of Obi Ubintu's and his reference to Hush Puppy, and see, I want to say that there is no amount of philanthropic projects you do. There's no amount of whatever that you do that can equate the pain that you've inflicted on your victims. It does not even, I mean, it can't even be compared. So you own it. I like the fact that he admitted to committing the crime. Own it that you've made a mistake. Own it that you were a bad example. Own it that you really drag the name of your family, the name of, I mean, your nationality. You drag everybody in the mud, and you are ready to take responsibility for that action by facing the wrath of the law. Own that. And I like that. Yeah, of course, it's been, you know, I guess he's currently serving his jail term.
Yes,
but he really missed it when he not even opened his mouth to say, his own is even still better. They cannot even compare him to Hush Puppy, because he was not just flaunting his own money anyhow on social media like Hush Puppy did. At least he was able to commit to some philanthropic projects. He has helped people back home. That was where I'm like, hey, wow, this is just the height of it. It's no brainer. You cannot say that is an excuse for you wanting to go into crime or inflicting pain on other people. I can't imagine. I don't know, but I really want to believe that those people that are really falling victims, you know, of his fraudulent activities for many years.
Yes.
You don't know how they are probably coping with life, the kind of how the businesses have gone down, and for Forbes to even list him, you know, the kind of background check that they would have probably done. Many other persons that probably merit the award, they were not even considered, just to now bring him on and list him, and a few years down, you now realize that no, it's not even worth it. So many things had gone in the process, and here you are telling me that, oh, well, your own is still better. I beg, he got no shame. That's just what I will have to say about that. He really has no shame.
All right, so to the people watching us, I don't really know if we can actually compare between Hush
It's
Puppy
not.
and this guy.
See,
Is
all of
there
them-
a good one in between them? Hush Puppy, we know, was very, very vocal about his wealth. And he was always flaunting himself, living large and all that. And all the young boys wanted to be like him. A lot of young ladies wanted to even date or marry him. Do you understand? And we also have this Obi guy that used this money to help Nigerian youths. He helped his community. He did something good with the stolen money. Should we now be crucifying him? Should we crucify people that steal money just to help people? Since our governments, they are not helping us, we have people that wants to take up the responsibility. Should we now start crucifying them? We know the story of Robin Hood. It's been acted in movies. You understand? Robin Hood actually steals money from the rich to empower the poor. Do you understand? So I think this is just a case of Robin Hood, and I have never really been critical of Robin Hood. Do you understand?
Yeah,
because I was asked that question.
I mean, we only find them in literature, like in movies or literature books, and we read about.
So
it,
now
but we did not
talk about.
We're not in his time. We did not experience it. Like we're not in his time. So now that these are happening in our time, we feel like No,
all right. So for me, I feel that life will always give us choices.
Definitely.
We always have a right way to choose, a right thing to choose, or a wrong path to take. Do you understand? Yeah. We always have two options. There is nothing like it is only this one that was available. That is why I went through it. There is always something. Now it now boils down to the fact that the right path might not really be as glamorous or as nice as you want it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So picking the wrong path and justifying yourself, I think it's a really no, because a lot of young people are watching. A lot of young people are looking at you
as mentors.
Exactly, they are looking up. So if you are saying that I did this to help my community, that's why a lot of young guys are going into Yahoo these days. They feel that, oh, this money is the money of our four fathers and all that. Forefathers that you never knew they were as rich as that. Do you understand? So people are just going into these things. Young boys are just using that as an excuse. We've so said that narrative that, oh, we now accommodate these things. We allow people, these young boys, or even some ladies go into this because they feel that it is their right, it is their privilege. So today's discussion, I want to say is that there should be no rationale. There should be no reasonable rationale or excuse for doing any fraudulent activities whatsoever. There are times, okay, let's move on from this obese story to something more critical. Let's say an health issue. Let's use a life and death circumstance situation. Do you understand? Okay, you have a loved one or something that is in the hospital, and he or she really needs the money. The doctor is on your neck. If you don't have so money, the surgery will not be done. What will you do? And you have the opportunity. Let's say your boss office is open and you know that there is always money in the safe. Will you go ahead, steal that money just to save your loved one? We'll answer that question right after this break. We'll be right back. Yeah, welcome back from that break. It's still Keep It Simple, and we are still discussing the rationale behind fraudulent activities. And we painted a story of having a loved one in the hospital with no money to pay the bills for the surgery, and then you have an opportunity to steal money from your boss or from your company. Would you do that to save your loved one? or probably you would allow God
to
have his way.
You know,
so what do you think you would do in such a situation?
I think it is at that time that the true test of your personality comes out. You know, in the face of harsh conditions or harsh reality where you need to make decisions, people tend to make irrational decisions based upon, oh, you know, these are the emotions at the moment, these are the situations, they just have to. But it is at that time that the true test of your basis, what your life is really based on, like what your values are, what your moralities are, what your person is. It's at that time that it comes out. It may, you know, people will just say, oh, it's easy to just sit there and judge and just, you know, say things. But when you're faced with it, God bear me witness, I've not really been, you know, in that kind of situation where I had to make really tough decisions. But so far, I mean, I've been tested in my own little way. And I'm the kind of person that would really stand for what I believe in. I'm if I can say so myself, I wanted to say, use the word virtuous. But yeah, I'm someone that is really God-fearing, and I have my moralities checked. I have my values that I cannot compromise no matter what. Well, and you know, there's this thing that talks about, there's this part of the scripture that talks about the fact that you will not be tested beyond what you can cope with. So, as God has helped me, nothing has really been beyond me. But I'm just trying to say that as believers, as Christians, I don't want to know what it is. Please, can you just stay true to your core, your essence, what it is that really makes you a child of God? What are your values? What are those things that really differentiate you, that set you apart from people out there? So if because you're faced with the challenges of hospital bills, then you decide, because we have stories like that, we know that this is how people go into prostitution, this is how people go into, you know, online, you know, fraudulent transactions and all of those things. But I want to say that, see, I can say it with my own man, nothing actually really justifies those actions. And if I'm to make reference to what Obi Investor said, oh, I'm no different from Hush Puppy. No, he said he did not say he was not there. He's better than us. See, what came to my mind is, sorry, is there a difference between big sin and small sin? No. It's sin, not sin. It is. See, no matter what, we are not judged. God is the ultimate judge. But see, he said, the soul of a sinner will go to hellfire. There's no differentiation between, oh, you kill someone, you that kill someone, your penalty or the judgment will be quite different from someone that just stole a stick of a matchstick, just a matchstick. It is still a sin. You stole, you killed, everybody has, you know, the same judgment. So for you to now say that, oh, you are better, at least you use your own for sin is sin. And it really begs the question of your morality in this case, whether or not to involve in, you know, scam activities because you are faced with, you know, really difficult challenges. See, it's based on your moralities and what your values are. So you pick what it is that you stand for.
I think we should choose wisely.
Exactly.
Some people would say that, well, we just have to do it. This is life involved, or it is very, very important. I'm no longer able to live and all that. But, you know, you're not really assured what will happen the
even
very
having
next
gotten
moment.
the money in an illicit way.
That's where I'm coming to. You are never really assured.
Exactly.
You can get that. And like this very example of this guy, he did live big life, a large life. He was comfortable. He had cars and all that. I mean, to be recognized and fobbed, that's a very big deal. But he's in jail now, and where are all those luxuries? I mean, and federal government has actually seized a lot of his properties, his bank account and all that was even frozen while he was being held.
Having served his jail term, it will still be on record that so person did so thing. I mean, you cannot erase it totally.
Exactly.
So you actually drag your family name in the mud.
I also want to add to
and a good name is better than
your loved one being actually sick. I think that we are not really, you don't know what God's plan is. It might just be the person's time. We are not sure. The very next moment, if you do not steal, something might happen. And if something happens, probably the person dies or something like that. The person might just be God calling that person to come home to a better place that is even better than earth. right here. Do you understand that? And also, if it is probably your company, your family and all that, you need the money, I think that there are other avenues that we can actually get some assistance from rather than stealing. You can ask from maybe church or something. God will always make a way. He will always. The way might not be as big as we want it. The situation might not really. I've been in situations sometimes like that where there was really, really nothing, and sometimes you might just be tempted to just steal something and all that. But God always provides. At the end of the day, He provides something, and the thing He provides, it might not really help me for the next 1 month or 2 months or 1 year, but at that
bring
moment,
you out of the situation.
Yes, at that challenging moment, it's something that can just bring me out, and then I have enough strength again to carry on myself and all that. So that's just what we are trying to say today, that there's really no rationale for doing something bad, fraudulent practices, stealing, whatever, selling your body, doing something that is against the will of God. Sometimes it is not even because we don't have enough, it is greed. Some people just want more, just want to accumulate more wealth. We just want to make people know that, oh, we have arrived. They have little, but that little is still not enough for them. It's either they're adding more zeros to the zero that is already there, doing something, collecting things from their company without the management awareness and all that. Please, let us be Christians to see to the minute details. Let us show and represent Christ. And if you've not given your life to Christ, or if you've been indulging in things like this, it is the right time. You might just be God speaking to us, to you, to change our practice, because you never can tell what will happen. And I tell you, there is no good end to fraudulent practices. There is no good end at all.
Yeah, it makes me remember the part of the scripture that talks about having a dry crumb. I think I have that. I have that here. Proverbs 17:1. It says that, I'm reading the Passion Translation, a simple, humble life with peace and quiet is far better than an opulent lifestyle with nothing but quarrels and strifes. I think there are other versions that talk about, better is a dry morsel and quietness therewith than a house full of feasting with strife. I think this can actually be related to, what we are discussing today. It's better to just live a simple, quiet, humble life with peace of mind, with your name intact, than, living, flashy lifestyle. And at the end of the day, I mean, you are tagged a fraudster, internationally acclaimed. I mean, you will want to be remembered for good things now, not bad stuff. So yeah,
and aside from really that, the destiny has actually been destroyed.
And I want to quickly make a point, which is that we should try to learn from people's mistakes. I hope that this guy would have learned his lesson, but the people that are looking up to him, that consider him as mentor, that consider him as coach, whatever, please pick from his lessons. And if he can serve his jail term and have opportunities to now speak to people, I would also employ that people that have been through issues, that have learned their mistakes, they should be able to now tell the youth, tell their mentees that, oh, this is the route I went through, and this is where it landed me. So please choose wisely. When you have someone that has gone through that and is now coming back to really explain what it entails, it will probably help youths that are under pressure to want to go through, illegal means. Maybe it will really help them to, just keep them in check. So, yeah.
All right, so that's where we draw the curtain today. Please choose wisely and choose with the fear of God. Don't just choose wisely, because some people's wisdom might just be something else. Choose with the fear of God. So till we'll meet you some other time, have a wonderful day. From myself and Tolu. Bye.
Enjoy.